What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with another film breakdown. Today we're going to be taking a look at Super Bowl 55 and what went wrong for our Kansas City Chiefs. Tough game for the Chiefs. I know I have a lot of loyal Chiefs fans that are subscribed to me. Really heartfelt for you guys. It's always tough to see your team lose the Super Bowl, but I can assure you everything will be okay for the Kansas City Chiefs. So before we dive into what I believe went wrong for Kansas City, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to my channel, The Hook Cam, as well as at Jackson Kruger Sports. That would mean the world to both of us, as well as checking out my guy Max Keys. He does all my background music, custom-made stuff. If you're interested, he would be happy to help you out. I'll put his stuff in the description below. All right, checking out what went wrong with Kansas City. What I noticed very, very early in this game is that Tampa Bay wanted absolutely no part in manning up with these guys, trying to jam them at the line of scrimmage, forcing them to reroute and getting them off their game. I noticed this very early, and I'm shocked that the Kansas City Chiefs didn't take advantage of it. What they did in this play right here, we're getting Mecole Hardman on a little sweep action. It's actually the first play from when they played the Buccaneers the first time this season. We motion this guy over here. You're hoping to catch this flat defender in a little bit of a pickle. We work upfield with this cat, and really this is just a brain fart, in my opinion. This is just a bust on Mecole Hardman. You have to turn your head and look to the quarterback, because if he's there to catch that football, he's up and you're picking up yardage, and you're making you're obviously getting closer in the end zone and trying to put together a nice red zone drive. But just looking at this stuff pre-snap, I mean, look at how much space we're willing to give up here. This is across the board. It's not like this is just on Tyreek. This is on Sammy. This is on everybody. So I was shocked when the Chiefs were not taking advantage of this, right? And with this play, I don't mind this, right? I hate speed option. I don't mind this play call. Ideally, you have everybody dialed up and you got everybody blocked. The problem that I don't like with this is that these are probably the two most athletic linebackers in the NFL. And trying to get these guys going to sideline isn't necessarily what's going to help you win this football game. One more time, though, and this is going to be a theme throughout this video. So much space the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were giving the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, if I'm the Chiefs, you have to find ways, right? Work upfield with Tyreek and then run Travis Kelce on a little curl or run him on an out, right? They try to do stuff like this, absolutely. But a lot of their game plan originally was predicated with their drop back game. And what that did is it gave Tampa Bay a chance to pin their ears back and rush the passer. The reason why I don't like that is because the Chiefs' 4 out of 5 offensive linemen are out. You're setting your guys up for just a bad day when you do stuff like that. So the Chiefs come back and they do start running the football a little bit. I love this. I had to cut it a little bit short because of YouTube. Sorry about that. But we basically work down with everybody. We pull our guard and our tackle. We're working out right here on Pierre-Paul. Really good job. Working upfield with 61. He does a really good job working right there. Following with our tackle. And then we get Clyde going, right? Run the football. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Darrell Williams, I think, only had a combined like 6 carries at the half. That can't happen, and I think I understand their thought process, the Chiefs coaching staff thought process going into this. They probably thought we don't want anything to do with this front four and these two backers. I understand that, but you still have to get that game going, because that's going to open up your play action stuff. And you don't necessarily have to be chewing up these Tampa Bay Buccaneers defenders in order to get your play action game going. Just that threat is going to be enough. But one more time, look at this 1st and 10, right? Another trip into the red zone. Look at how much space we're giving with this receiver at the top. I believe that's Sammy. And I get it. They're trying to run this wheel, and then Tyreek is really your flat option over here. But I just don't understand why we're not working our quick game with this, right? And this is the thing. You got Mahomes, work your quick game. If you work your quick game and you run a speed out right here, even at 5, right? You run it at 5. You take a tremendous amount of pressure off these guys. It's easy completions for Mahomes, and you can get this offense back on track. Instead, they kept going back and kept going back and kept going back to their drop back game, and that's ultimately what really got him killed, right? And not only that, but one more time, 4 out of 5 offensive line starters out. Stuff like this is going to happen in this situation. This is a great example of what happens when you're trying to run your drop back. This is a 3rd and 6. This is a convertible down for the Kansas City Chiefs. If you run a speed out right here, you're not telling me you're going to complete that? Patrick Mahomes is going to rip this ball to the sidelines, and that's going to be an easy first down. You're living to fight again. Even with somebody in his face, he's going to be able to do that. But still, right, they go back to their running game. And again, I don't hate it. They were creative with their running game. This is a good job, right? Working down. I believe he works up to this backer. Yep. And we pull underneath with 61. Really good job getting things going on the ground. But they didn't go back to it. And that ultimately is the biggest thing in this game, is that the things that were working for them with their running game, it wasn't like they were gashing them. They had a couple of very, very good runs. I believe Clyde finished with like 9 for 70 or so. But the biggest issue to me is we didn't take advantage on the edges, right? We have this one play right here. And this is ultimately what the Chiefs did to take advantage of this off coverage, is they literally just had this dude stand here, right? He ran like what I used to call a key. He would run this key, right, and come back to the line of scrimmage as if he's getting a screen, and then he falls down and we don't pick up any yards, and then they don't come back to it, right? But that was how they kept these corners at bay. But that's not how you're supposed to go about this, right? One more time, they're going back to their drop back game with this. And I get it. You're trying to work your quick game on this side with Kelsey and with Tyreek, but they're pressed up with Tyreek. You have to be able to look at this pre-snap and go, okay, I'm going to work this guy on an 8-yard out, whatever. Right, I'm going to hit my 3-step drop, and I'm going to rip this thing because my offensive line's getting smoked. And then on top of that, you look at what Tampa Bay's doing defensively. This is a phenomenal twist we got right here from Shaq Barrett, coming all the way underneath, working upfield with Vita Vea, and then I'm not sure, that's Nottingham Suh underneath. This is a really good job on this twist. But this offensive line was hung out to dry. You can't keep going to your drop back game when your offensive line's getting chewed up and you have 4 offensive linemen out. You just can't. One more time, look at the space we have at the top. You have to take advantage of this, and this isn't the way to do it. That's not the way to do it by just keeping a guy there. You have to stem this dude upfield and then rip this thing on the out. That's the only way. But the Chiefs time and time again went to their drop back game, right? Get Mahomes back there. Let him sling it. I get it. The dude's a stud. I want to see him do that too. But at the end of the day, your drop back game wasn't there because you had 4 to 5 guys out and you never got your quick game going. And that's ultimately what killed them. And they didn't take advantage of what was going on the edges. Now, looking at this Kansas City defense, what the hell happened? Okay, let me break this down. The Bucs went into what I would call their jumbo package. That's what I've called it before. They brought a 6th offensive lineman in right here at the top, right? You got Gronk, and then this is a 6th offensive lineman. The Chiefs stayed in their nickel, right? We're still in our nickel package right here. We are outmanned and outmatched up front right now. That's just the way it is, right? When they're going and they're playing Derrick Henry and they're playing dudes who can run the football, they go into their 5-man under, they play big boy football up front, and that's how they go and they win football games. And that's how they shut down running games. They play 5-man under, they play very gap sound football. But here, once again, right, the Buccaneers consistently got the Kansas City Chiefs in their nickel package, right? We have to match up with their 3 receivers, right? Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, and Chris Godwin. I don't blame you. I would probably do the same thing. But what that did is it made them light up front. And when you're light up front, it leaves you very susceptible to them just pounding the rock. Not only that, but once they start pounding the rock like this, then they can get into their run action game, which is what we see here. Brady drops back. He's in his run action, right? You get linebackers close to the line of scrimmage. He motioned Chris Godwin before this play. Had to cut it out. But we have man coverage, right? That's why you motion guys like this pre-snap, is so that you can show the cue, okay, what do we got? All right, we got man coverage. That means I'm going to have AB on the top, on the outside on this comeback, right? And that's ultimately what the Bucs did. They used their running game and they utilized the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs were consistently in their nickel against them. They had to go in their nickel because they had to respond to AB, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans. And because of that, they got in really, really bad situations, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just hammered the running game. Once they hammered their running game, Brady went into his run action, and they ultimately won these one-on-one situations on the outside. Not only that, but Kansas City and Spagnuolo have always done well against Brady when it's 3rd and 8+, 3rd and 6+. Tampa Bay did a great job of staying out of that on Sunday, right? They were rarely in 3rd and 4 or longer, 3rd and 5 or longer. That's just the bottom line of it. And you see something like this right here, right? Once again, we're in our heavy stuff, and now the Chiefs are in their base defense, right? We have 3 linebackers in the box. But what happens is we bring in Chris Godwin and we make this edge a lot tighter and we push this corner off. So now Sorensen's going to be the guy who has has to come and fill in this situation, right? But when he comes to fill, he's working inside on this. Now the Bucs are running duo here, okay? So as Leonard Fournette's going to get this ball, he's going to read this Mike linebacker. Since nobody's, right, the Mike's in the gap, this is pretty much stuffed up front. Now he's going to bounce this thing to the outside, and it's going to be a defensive back who's trying to make a tackle on him, like we see right there. Not a matchup that defensive backs are going to win. We see this 2nd down and 5 one more time, and this is just taking advantage of running the football and doing it well, okay? They pull their center right here. That's going to bring Tyrann Mathieu down on this side. It's going to bring backers up to the line of scrimmage, and you end up with Gronk running down the middle of the field, okay? Stuff like that is what killed the Chiefs today. And you could see Tyrann, today was not the Chiefs' day either. Like, this was just a bad game from Kansas City. But, you know, you see this right here. This is one more time. This is power, beautifully run by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, the Chiefs are in their base, but they're still in this 4-3. I would much rather see them in a 5-man under in this situation, right? If you're in a 5-man under, you bring a guy down here. Now we can really shore this defense up on the edges of this thing and try and collapse this and force this thing to come back down into the middle of the field, or try and bounce it out, and then we can make a play on the edge, right? But we don't get that because we're not in our 5-man under. We're in our base, and stuff like that happens. So anyway, guys, I hope this shed a little bit of light. Kansas City Chiefs fans, don't you worry. Things are going to be just fine. You have the guys you need locked up for the foreseeable future. Really interested to see what this team does from here and how they go about the draft this year. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to my channel, The Hook Cam, as well as to Jackson Kruger Sports. That would mean the world to both of us, as well as checking out my boy Max Keys. All of that would be just awesome. I really appreciate your guys' support throughout the year. It's really meant a lot to me. So I just hope that I can keep getting that support, man. I'll keep making videos. Hope everybody's staying safe, washing those hands, and I'll see you next time.